save my life tonight. 'Cause you got something I like, and I've got something you need, and I promise not to fight tonight. Tonight you close your eyes and appear. My touch so real, my love so dear, makes you think everything could be just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner. We will fly like angels in heaven. We will throw off the lock on the door. We will follow our best intentions, and we will love like never before. Hey baby, do you think it's okay if I sit here with you and wish the world away? You think I'm cold, but my heart still beats. Look, I broke it so many times along the way. You close your eyes and appear. My touch so real, my love so dear, makes you think all good things could be just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner. And we will fly like angels in heaven. We will throw off the lock on the door. We will follow our best intentions, and we will love like never before. We will fly like angels in heaven. We will throw off the lock on the door. We will follow our best intentions, and we will love like never before. Hey baby, won't you come on with me? You know you saved my life tonight. 'Cause you got something I like, and I've got something you need, and I promise not to fight tonight. Tonight you close your eyes and appear. My touch so real, my love so dear, makes you think everything could be just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner. We will fly like angels in heaven. We will throw off the lock on the door. We will follow our best intentions, and we will love like never before. We will fly like angels in heaven. We will throw off the lock on the door. We will follow our best intentions, and we will love like never before. Like never before.
Ladies and gentlemen, Naked Blue. That was very nice. Way different from last time I saw you. It was all highly electric and loud. And it was great.
Thank you.
But I knew you could do this. I just knew somehow that good musicians would be able to do this acoustically. And you are good musicians, all of you. Did you teach him how to sing like that with you, or is that why you like him?
I guess
'Cause you
we've been singing
harmonized.
together for a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess it just after time it kind of works its way together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you harmonize really nicely, and your
Oh, I'll
voice
say.
is so sweet, Jennifer.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. What are you doing?
I'm tuning back to a standard.
Do you mind if we distract you by talking to you while you're
Sure.
trying to feel that? Oh, we can talk to Mike and Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Scott.
So, let's see. How long have you two been together in a band, of course? I mean.
Jennifer and I?
Yeah.
We've been working together going on
5 or 6 years.
6 years.
Wow. And where do you play mostly?
We play a lot of the DC, Northern Virginia area, and we do colleges. We do a lot of
Right.
college work from the Midwest on over and up and down the whole coast.
I know you're going to, what, upstate New York or Pennsylvania or something?
Yeah, we got Niagara,
All of the-
Niagara.
Buffalo, and
Pennsylvania, New
Boise,
Orleans.
Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
Wow.
We can't wait.
Wow.
That's
In
way out
September,
west.
yeah.
Do you do like 4 sets, or what do you do when you play schools,
45
concerts?
minutes.
Really?
College thing,
That's
yeah.
cool. And what kind of places? Just for student activity type things, or
Anything
student?
from, the coffee house
Right.
setups that we've done bigger shows, where they'll put on like a small concert in the school in the cafeteria or whatever.
Right.
Or in a hall that they might have.
Do you still do heavy electric music sometimes too? I mean,
Doing the college thing?
well.
That's most of what it is.
That's
yeah.
part of what you do.
I mean, they're an electric band. They're a hellacious electric band.
Can't you tell?
Well.
Well,
you
we're
can't
going to
tell
have a
here,
chance to tell. They're going to be in this area at Freedom Plaza on August 18th.
but- Oh, you are?
So I assume you'll bring out some firepower for that one.
What day?
It's a Thursday.
Thursday the 18th.
Of August
Of August. Okay.
at 5 in the afternoon. So
Cool.
people can come out after work and boogie on Freedom Plaza.
Pray for a sub 100-degree day. Yeah,
might
that'd be
might
nice.
happen. August in DC.
It could happen. Yeah, it could happen.
Dream on, Miles.
Yeah, but that's a nice place. A lovely venue, Freedom Plaza. I'll tell you a story. Are you done tuning? I'll shut up.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freedom Plaza. The Pennsylvania Avenue Development Corporation came up with the idea for Freedom Plaza to have this great open space, and they would put different sort of little maps and things on it. And what they didn't realize was that it was going to become the skateboard mecca of the Virginia, Washington, Maryland area. I mean, every skateboarder in the world comes down there. So there's graffiti all over the place. There's tire marks all over everything, and it
Wow.
drives them utterly mad. They want to build like a barbed wire fence around it now so that nobody can get up there and skateboard. Just goes to show you the best intentions off gang Agley or whatever the Scottish is.
That's amazing.
Tuned up?
Let's see. Give me an E.
See, she was listening to me. Actually, she was distracted. That's good.
Sounds good.
Your turn? Do another song.
Yeah,
I just can't get enough of it. I can listen to you sing all day.
absolutely.
Well, we want to tell you a story about this next song
All right.
because it's our favorite song. You want to do that one? This is a song. Scott and I had a lot of trouble when we started writing together, started working together. We left other bands, and a lot of people were kind of not into what the new thing that we were doing was, and so we had a lot of what's the resistance to it. And finally it kind of accumulated in this major producer guy. Loved the songs, but he didn't want to work with the two of us. He didn't like the way we worked together. So,
The way the two of you work together, or the way you work
the way
with the
the two of
producer?
us worked together. So, because he had this idea of this kind of bluesy, kind of Bonnie Raitt thing that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, we figured, well, I guess we should split up because it seems like
It's a way to
nobody
make it,
thinks
right?
this is working. So, we split up for about a week. And then we decided that we were going to do exactly what we wanted to do.
Sure, that was a much better idea.
And we wrote this song at that time about it. Like to hear it? Here we
Yeah.
go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Found out last night, fear burns bright and bright. Plans shatter like glass and hearts break just as fast. The stroke of luck is not quite right. Chance that we just missed this time. Hopes we felt so dear and tight won't just go away. I'd call my best friend if it wasn't you. I'd tell you it's alright if it was true. I'd bring the good times back and make them new. I'd do anything, I'd do anything for you. I'd do anything. tell you it's alright if it was true. Bring the good times back and make them new. I'd do anything, I'd do anything. I'd call my best friend if it wasn't you. I'd tell you it's alright if it was true. I'd bring the good times back and make them new. I'd do anything, I'd do anything. I'd do anything.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. That was gorgeous. And I can't believe we have to wrap this up because
Already?
I had a great question, but I'll ask you as soon as we get done. Okay? Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks. We'll do this again and hear 2 more songs, or maybe 3 next time. Tell me, when you guys write songs together, what do you do when you disagree?
2, go! Go!
Go! Now I remember. Go compact discs. Go for broke.
Go insane.
Merry-go-round.
Go fishing, Dad.
Go to hell, Miles.
Go sit on attack. The Go-Go's.
Go fly a kite.
Go fly a kite. Do it yourself. Now that is how we should start this. Can we start over again?
No,
Just
it's too
kidding.
late. Keep going.
Back when I was a little boy, the punk rock movement was just getting off the ground. And they had this thing called the DIY movement when people somehow got it into their heads that if you had a tape recorder and a couple of cheap guitars, you could make your own albums. It was a stupid thought. But here, 20 years later, we find Fugazi selling 150,000 units of an album out of, his closet.
What is DIY? Do it yourself?
Do it yourself. And it's words to live by, and it's words that you guys have obviously just started like a whole movement just out of your own heads, didn't you? I mean, you had a flea market, sort of the go movement.
Retail.
Yeah, you got go retail, you got the flea market, you got the movement.
Who's you guys?
Go.
Go?
Go.
Go.
Just go to Arlington and see the sign. You'll know what I'm talking about. Go compact disc.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, now how did you end up with compact disc? Why not color
Wait a minute.
45
Wait a
or
minute.
something?
Does this have anything to do with Renee and Jimmy?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm confused.
Well, it does. It does. But they obviously are not compact discs. These are the what would you call it?
The dream children.
The entrepreneurs behind this whole new concept of
Babysitters.
babysitters.
The mommy and daddy.
But how did you do this? I mean, how did you go from just wandering the street and you're beating up threads to owning a fabulous compact disc store?
That's pretty much it.
That's about it. He saw the space one day for rent,
Yeah.
and we both looked up, and we said, okay, I have some money, he has some money, his brother has some money. So we put it together and...
So you had the gall to challenge Sam Goody, the whiz.
Plus the big record labels. I mean, you guys
Mill.
also have like a label thing you do, don't you? Or I mean, at least some sort of a global concept of getting a sound together or getting a bunch of bands together.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
you?
sort of the indie rock flea market.
Indie rock
Yeah.
at flea market. Indie rock flea market. What is indie rock anyway?
Indie rock?
Yeah.
Independent music, stuff that usually isn't on a major label, or of that DIY theory.
Right.
Things now are getting signed left and right, so
It's hard to tell anymore.
it's hard to tell anymore.
It's like we want to sign indie bands. Now, does that make any sense?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
But this was the principle behind Go Compact Disc. You wanted to bring in a place, you wanted to create a place where you could bring in musicians that weren't getting distributed elsewhere.
Partly, we felt a gap. It was in Arlington. There hadn't been a record store in Arlington in years, really, except for whatever's at Boston Common, which is a chain store.
Right.
And all of us are Arlingtonians, so we were familiar with our surroundings, and we knew other businesses. We had worked in Arlington, so it was kind of natural for us to just do it in Arlington versus D.C. A lot of people would say, why don't you open up in D.C.? Well, that's not really where we're from, and plus, people tend to look at the Potomac as the Atlantic, you know, they're
Right.
afraid to cross it.
Right.
And so by having a store in Arlington, that's what we've tried to do a little bit during the summer. I mean, it's been so crazy for us that we haven't had a whole lot of time to get to tourism, but we were hoping that people would see the ad in City Paper and come on the Metro. We're only 2 blocks from Courthouse Metro.
Oh, that's close.
So, you know, you can walk, and even if you bought a lot of stuff, you wouldn't have to walk that far.
Right.
So-
And it's a beautiful place. We went by there the other night.
Thank
The other
you.
night, and it looks great. Best neon I think I've seen
Yeah,
since.
the neon looks good at night. In fact, when we first put it up, day one, I guess about 2 days before we officially opened, the guys were there a lot longer than they thought they would be, so it had gotten to be dark, because we opened up in March, so that's when the sun still goes down around like 6 or 7. And the neon actually reflects off of the Franklin Road sign at night, when it's like
Ooh.
officially, the sun has officially gone down, not at
It sort of
dusk.
lights up the
The
entire
entire Wilson Boulevard, and,
Yeah.
and some of the people that live on Franklin Road were just like, what has moved into our neighborhood? So people still look at that and get a wow from it. Obviously, a lot of people have seen it. So.
What's the difference between a flea market and Boston Mall? I mean, what did you guys do with this flea market? It sounds really neat.
It was sort of, the idea was sort of behind it, record conventions were extra boring, and that sort of was like the only venue for people to sort of, you know, find other music. And I just want to present sort of something where all the demographics were the same, where everybody was going to be interested in the same kind of clothing, the same kind of music, the same kind of junk.
And food, you had
Yeah.
food there too?
We had some, well, actually, we were nice enough to have a company send us 250 vegetarian hot dogs and 250 vegetarian hamburgers. So we were able to offer that because a friend of mine that helped me run the information booth said that she ran last year's Lollapalooza information booth, and one of the biggest complaints was that they did not have any vegetarian food. And in terms of Jimmy and myself pulling the Indie Rock Flea Market off in 5 weeks, I mean, the whole
Wow.
idea didn't even start except maybe, I guess, like the last week in May.
Yeah.
Well, we had a concept for it, you know, a year or so ago, but the reality of actually
Putting it
faxing
together.
people and calling people, so everybody came through. We had people from as far as New Hampshire, Ohio, North Carolina, and then a lot of people from New York and Delaware and Baltimore, so.
So you had bands
easily-
come in and perform?
Yeah,
But
we had 2
big
New York
bands.
bands, and the rest were from DC.
No, 2 New York, 1 New Jersey.
Oh.
Ditch Croakers.
But there was also
New
one
Jersey.
funny with the booth that was set up where the guy had made the sign that said "Stop the DC hegemony."
Hegemony.
That was so funny.
Oh, all right.
Because we do have sort of a reputation around here of having this scene of you know, where alternative was sort of born. I mean, they have
Yeah.
yeah, and of
So if
course
you don't play
nobody's
the
disabusing
9:30
anybody of that notion.
Is that like if you don't play 9:30 Club, you're out of it, or?
Well, is that
you're
still
not
on the
map?
agenda?
No,
I don't think
mean,
so.
there's
Black
so many
Hat, definitely.
alternative venues, it doesn't really
Yeah.
But of course,
matter.
we don't find out about them anymore. They're held in people's houses like speakeasies. They had a place in Baltimore that was I think it was an old firehouse, and I think these people would break into it on the day of the show and open it up. 900 people would go in this place. It would be, you know, 118
We
degrees
had a guy
inside.
from there on here one
That's
time
right.
with the tattoos.
Exactly. That's
Really?
right. I think he did. I think he broke into the place every Friday and set up and the place would be filled with smoke and it would be hot as hell. But that's a real alternative scene. I mean, if you want to see music bad enough to sit through that,
Well,
that's
I mean-
supposed to be some good music.
Well, actually, that's something that we kind of brought to the store that we saw around record stores. Kind of tended to be a little bit dirty, which is not a bad thing. You know, if that's the style that you have, that's cool too. It's just that something that, at least myself, I didn't like to always to go into a record store and see a bunch of guys working behind the counter, because when I was like 16 and 17, I would get real influenced and nervous, and these really cool guys would be behind the counter. I was afraid to go up and ask, like, oh, do you like this Tori Amos? You know, because for fear of getting ridiculed. So partly as being a woman in the retail music store, I've seen a lot of people get a little more relaxed, and that doesn't mean that Jimmy or his brother can't bring that to the store either, but
Well, I also
just...
spend, you know, so much time shopping with girlfriends and be like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting in the car. If you're not out in 2 minutes, I'm hot wiring and leaving. I'd be like, why don't you just go to the record store? I'm not going to the record
That was
store with
me.
you ever again in this lifetime.
I went to the record store for 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go now. Let's go. Boyfriend tagging with girlfriend, you know.
That's why
And
we
I
put
see it all
seats
the
in there
time.
and stuff, so people can sit down and read. And
Oh, that's nice.
That was the #1 agenda for myself. I know he agreed with me, but I said seats, must have
comfortable.
seats.
Yeah.
And I always see stereotypically, I see a lot of women that go into the record store and they're just done in like 15 or 20
Right.
minutes. It doesn't mean good or bad. They're just done, usually
And
more
they're
quickly
still
than the guy.
stacking CDs. stuff like
Exactly.
this.
But at least this way, I see a lot of people utilizing those seats. They can grab a magazine and sit down, or they can just be relaxed. I think people have forgotten in the music retail industry that music is supposed to be fun, and it's not all about numbers. And especially in the Northern Virginia area, there isn't a lot of entrepreneurialism, period. We're inundated with malls, which, whatever, indirectly is entrepreneurial,
prepackaged
but it's
consumerism.
prepackaged. And other towns I've been to, like Boston and even Baltimore and stuff, where you go and you know the person in there, and hey,
Right.
can you hook me up with the newest band? You know what I like. You might want to turn me on to
Do you have
something.
a listening room thing?
Yeah, we
Well,
do.
actually, everything, we have four listening places.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Everything
great.
in the store is out of the case, so
Yeah.
you can
That's
listen
really
to
good.
anything we
That is
carry.
good. And that's
Or you
so
can listen
rare,
to the
too.
vinyl. I just thought it was, I've always liked the weirdest crap, and so you go to a store, and
can
and the
listen
CD
to
is
it.
like $22, like, oh,
Yeah.
That's
it's
a
got
good
a
investment.
really cool cover,
Yeah.
and somebody told me that a friend of theirs liked it.
Right.
How does that relate to your
Is that
taste?
$22?
Right.
Like, is that
That,
fill me
that
with confidence?
brings me to wondering, how do you select music for your store?
By the seat of my pants.
Jimmy is an amazing orderer, really. He does all the ordering, and
I spend probably like 3 to 4 hours a day on the phone, just
Yeah.
like, what is that? All right, send it. Sounds. Most of the time I can sort of guess that it'll be pretty good for the store. Sometimes I have this one techno distributor, and the girl's name is Yanni, and ambient music just runs the gambit from like sounds of like water samples
Yeah.
to of like
Heavy
something-
industrial.
Right.
Yeah.
She'll be like, well, it's kind of ambient with some tree bark, and I think there's a moth in the background. I found I was like, Yanni, $300, send me whatever the hell you want, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Jeez. And
Yeah.
to cut you some slack, I mean,
Yeah.
Can you
if you
send it
send it
back?
back. If it,
yeah,
Not
sort
really.
of.
Not really.
Not really.
Do you have a bargain barrel?
Kind of.
I mean, sometimes things take 6 to 8 months to catch on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll order a techno CD, and I'll be like, oh God, I ordered the wrong. I've got like 4 of these stupid things, and no one's gonna buy it. 7 months later, people are like, oh, do you have this?
Yeah.
It takes that long sometimes for something to like
Get reviewed, or
Right.
or
Catch
DJ
on.
buys it and plays it in the club.
Yeah, I hear that
so-
bark thing is a flash sensation.
Yeah, 3 bar.
right,
That's
3
the
bar.
next big thing. The another thing is with the sometimes short duration of a musical style, which will flame
Sure.
very brightly and then disappear. I mean, you could sell 2 and then 4 and then 8 and 16 and say, God, I'm going to get 100 of these.
Right.
And I get a real discount. That's the week when everybody says, I've had enough of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of it. So I guess that's retail people all over the world are stuck with that concept.
Depending, I
Yeah.
mean, when you're the size of Tower Records, you buy 20,000 units of something, and you have a certain return rate with,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
WIA and something. But my 20,000 order into WIA this week just doesn't seem to go through for some reason.
Well, you guys don't even allow yourself time to get sick of the store. You're opening something up downstairs now in
Yeah.
the next couple
Yeah,
months?
coffee
What's that
shop.
about? Coffee shop?
Yeah.
Who's going to man that or woman that?
I'm
think
sort of running it, but I have a
Palm
friend of
Beach.
mine named Carlton who's going to be the manager.
Do you have a name for that?
The Sugar Shack.
Yeah.
Um,
We're hoping that'll bring.
This is a place for the women to go after they've gotten off the seats and gotten bored with reading everything about. They go downstairs and they have coffee.
Sort of one of
They'll all
the.
congregate outside like smokers.
It's one of the same concepts with the upstairs. Was I just got tired of driving everywhere to find what I wanted. So people are like, why did you really open the store? Is it your great love of indie music? I'm like, nah, I'm just tired of driving. Like DC, Maryland, mail order.
Right.
I just want it to be here.
Right here in Arlington.
Same thing with the coffee. I was like, oh, do you really, is it your great love of coffee, dessert? I'm like, no, it's like 10 o'clock at night in Arlington. I want a piece of chocolate cake, and there is no choice for a piece of chocolate cake at 10
And you're
o'clock.
certainly not going to drive across the river just for that.
No.
Well, we sometimes have
Sometimes
to,
do, you're like,
but
all
it's
right.
kind of lame. Like by the time you get all the way down, you're just like, forget it.
Lost
I don't
your
even
taste,
want to
you've
deal
lost
with
your
it.
craving.
Yeah, and it's not our neighborhood. It would be nice to go out. I mean, that's the great
Yeah.
thing about some of the restaurants and bars along Wilson Boulevard. But that's just it. A lot of them are very alcohol oriented, a
Yeah.
bar or what have you, or a
Right.
restaurant. And I know when I used to waitress, personally I didn't really care, but a lot of people I worked with used to get upset if somebody would sit in the seat for too long because you never knew what your tip was going to be. And trust me, this wasn't a high class French restaurant. So, you get all upset like, oh, well, I'm only going to make, 10 or 15% anyways, and this person's sitting here forever. So this way, hopefully, and I know a lot of other people feel like that, and hopefully that those kinds of people will congregate to where what we're doing, because at first we're not going to serve alcohol. I hope we don't have to do something like that, considering there
Hey,
is.
veggie dogs.
Yeah.
Veggie dogs,
What number
$4
on Wilson?
espressos.
What number on Wilson Boulevard so that those who aren't familiar?
Actually, it's right off Wilson. It's
Yeah.
2507 North Franklin.
On Franklin.
Yeah, it's
It's,
at Barton Street and Wilson.
Barton and Frank sort of come together.
And that's a
right
great
there.
walking neighborhood too. There's a lot of old apartment buildings that I'm sure
Mhm.
there's always people out walking around at night.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make something sort of dessert-oriented because there's nothing really dessert-oriented around.
Mm.
You sort of go to the same restaurants and they have the same, it's like apple pie again, cheesecake again, so.
And it fits
Yeah.
in with the theme. I mean, music is sort of the dessert for the
Sure.
soul.
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite new thing musically?
Musically. One of the bands that played at the flea market, Ditch Croaker, are really good.
Ditch what?
Ditch Croaker.
Croaker?
Yeah, they just have 2 singles out. What else is really good? What have I? There's something out on Simple Machines called Seesaw.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which is
Yeah.
really good. What else is good this week?
I know.
2 very strange little girls
This
from
week,
England.
see, is
Yeah, I like
different.
I
the
know.
puka.
Sorry.
The 2 girls from England named Puka, who actually came
Very
to the store
acoustic.
once. It was really funny because they opened for Kristen Hirsch, and we had done a Kristen Hirsch in store.
Yeah.
She was from the Throwing Muses. So we went to that show, and I started talking to the girls after the show. They're like 20, and they're from England. They're very shy. I said, well, I know you guys have a day off tomorrow, so if you're in the neighborhood, stop by. So my sales rep calls me up the next morning. It's like 9:45, and he's like hysterical. He's like, I hear you're having a puka in store today. I'm like, I'm not having a puka in store. Don't be a lunatic. I met them last night. I just told them to drop by. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I just want to make sure you had product. I was like, not having one. 3 seconds later, their manager calls up. He's like, oh, so well, we'll drop by and the girls will play. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, they'll play for anyone.
So we had to call up all of our friends to
We're
come
like-
over because it's like a Monday at 3. Of course, no one's in the store.
No, they
so-
said they were in New York.
Jimmy, Renee, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we gotta go.
Oh, we do?
Uh-oh.
What was the upshot? They played in the store? Did you have some product?
Yes, yes.
That's all that really counts.
And
I just
we
want the
sold
people at
more
home to know that the story has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming
coming.
very much. Go to
Bye.
go.
Thank
Go to
you.
go. Go to go. Go to go.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I'll get some chocolate cake later.
Eat some chocolate
Yeah,
cake
in about a month.
in about a month.
Yeah.